Hey guys, came for 15, joined by my Uncle Daryl. We're back doing NFL predictions. I think we missed the last few weeks, but we're back here. This is week 7 now after week 6. Um, Look, NFL football's been solid. There's been a lot of news happening. The Jets, the Steelers.
Steelers.
Can't think of anything else that's been going on that's been crazy in the NFL world, but
Well,
um,
it's the usual stuff. The Cowboys. And,
oh yeah, the
yeah,
Cowboys, yeah, yeah.
yeah. I mean, it feels really good to be a Cowboy hater this week.
Yeah. Jerry Jones threatening radio host job because they were basically saying like you ain't doing your job.
Boy, them Cowboys, they got stomped.
Yeah.
They
They got.
got stomped.
I knew they would be bad. I figured they wouldn't be good with the fact that they have a lack of talent compared to last year's team, but they just got. The Lions are just throwing passes to the offensive lineman. That just tells you all that you need to know. They don't
They
think.
got hammered. They got hammered.
Yeah.
And what's worse, it was in their building.
Yeah.
They got beat by what, 38 points?
Something like that.
They got beat by 5 touchdowns in their building.
Yeah.
That was just.
It ain't good. It ain't good for them. I'm not a Cowboy.
No.
Thank goodness I'm not a Cowboys fan. Holy heck.
Yep.
I know
I mean,
people.
really.
I do know people that are Cowboy fans, though.
Yeah. I know quite a bit of them too.
Yeah. Let's get to week
But
7.
one thing that is really good though, the NFC North is probably the best division in football. The point differential is number 1 in the league, man. I mean, we outscoring the NFC North is outscoring their opponents more than anybody in the league. So I think that's really good. It bodes well for the popularity of the division, especially when you compare it to the other divisions who has really been taking the spotlight from all the other teams. NFC West, obviously NFC East, AFC East. Just no one really talks about how good the NFC North is. And I just want to throw that shout out that the NFC North is the best division in football.
Yep. Starting off week 7. Yesterday, it was the Broncos versus Saints. It was Sean Payton's return to New Orleans after, I guess, having an abrupt leaving ending. He kind of wanted out, to be honest, but
And he came back with a bang, didn't he?
yeah. They just blew them out. Simple as
the
that.
Saints, and the Saints are just ravaged by a lot of injury, and they getting hit by everything. I mean, quarterbacks out. I mean, top 3 wide receivers are out.
Sure. I think Shaheed went on IR.
Yeah, he just went on IR with a knee. Olave was down. I mean, so they just banged up all the way around. And you know how it is in football, man. It's a collision sport, and injuries are going to happen. It's inevitable. You just have to have that depth to be able to survive.
Yeah.
So, and right now, man, the Saints look like a lottery team.
Yeah, because last week they got blown. Last week because I was watching the Saints Buccaneers game last week in week 6, and the Saints were down big. They came back. I was like, okay, this might be a game. And then the Buccaneers are all right, enough of this stuff.
Yeah. They said, we can't get beat by the backup quarterback. we just, no, man. Hell no. So let's just go ahead and stop it. I'm going to put this 50 spot on y'all. Because we know 25 to 28 points is as good as y'all get.
It's still, they were talking about this on the Thursday night broadcast because Spencer Rattler is currently right now the starting quarterback, even though he's the backup. It's still crazy that this dude, he had such a fall from grace back in college.
Yeah.
He stung up the joint his second year, and then, geez Louise. He basically got the entire world to see who Caleb Williams was by him sucking at Oklahoma.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just, but, it's how the NFL is. Injury will decapitate a team.
Yep.
And right now, it is really hitting the Saints really hard. And I don't think Dennis Allen is going to survive, man. I think eventually
Yeah.
they're probably going to wind up letting him go.
Yeah.
But no coach can really survive super injuries without death.
Yeah. Getting to the Sunday slate of games. We have the final international game, the final London game. And yeah. I guess the first two were actually good. The second one, we're happy that the Bears won, but that was a straight dog walk.
Yeah, I got to admit, they did not look good coming out the gate.
Oh yeah.
They didn't look good at all. They couldn't stop the run. They couldn't stop the pass. Now, granted, we went into the game where Brisker and Stevenson was down, and just like any other really good coach, any other good football team, they went after the backups.
Yeah.
They really did. So they were successful, but the Bears did adjust and decided to move them around a bit. And again, I'm not necessarily sure if it's Washington or Eberflus that is making these decisions to adjust on the fly like that. But it looks like they scrapped those first 15 plays and they decided to go to the next set. And then that's when they were successful, because at that particular moment, it looked like the Bears was going to go to another country and get their tails whooped.
Yep. But this week's last London game is I feel sorry for the fans of New England. I mean, the fans of London. You have to watch the New England Patriots versus the Jaguars.
Well, like I said, the fans, the Jaguar fans, they do have a foul. So
Yeah.
They have a following, and they were out there. So I still expect the Jaguars to win this game because New England just can't score.
New England, yeah.
Yeah, man, they just can't score.
I still don't know why the New England Patriots. I'm fine with them wanting to start Drake May, but why they had him start Drake May against the Texans? I would have just had Jacoby Brissett take one more punishment, and then going into this game, you then make the decision to start Drake May, since technically the Jaguars are the easier team.
Well, it's a big game in the sense that it's going to be watched by a little bit more people.
Yeah.
So why not throw out the future of your franchise out there?
Yeah,
I get it. I understand it. I mean, they still gonna lose, but you at least you get, you're some type of, people to watch. What the franchise has to what they're going to what the foresee is of the franchise for the next 10 years, which is Drake May.
Yeah. I'm going with the Jaguars to win this game. If they somehow lose this game, Doug Peterson ain't going to be in a good shoes, because you already had people coming out of that Bears game talking about, you had like players talking about, like, oh yeah, there were guys over there making business decisions quitting. I'm like, what the heck's going on over there?
The Jaguars are done. And I don't know. Oh, excuse me. I don't know if Doug Peterson is actually bringing the players in, but it's clear they need wideouts.
Oh yeah.
They don't have them. When the Bears adjusted, none of them jokers can get open.
Well, to their defense, there were times where they had the ball to make a play and they just dropped it, frankly. Like the first drive, they dropped the touchdown.
That was few and far between. But when the Bears got rolling, I mean, them guys couldn't get open. Jalen Johnson smothered Byron Murphy Jr. He smothered him. I mean, he was like gravy on this joker. He couldn't get free at all. I don't even know if Murphy had a reception.
I didn't hear his name.
Yeah, I mean, man, Johnson was all over him, dog. And to the point where it's the only thing they could go was to Jones's side. And in the second half, they adjusted a heck of a lot more. Although I gotta admit, we were closer to one of the end zones, the more like the 25-yard line, and they played zone a lot in the red zone, and I was ticked. I'm sitting over here yelling, "Oh God, Lord, cover two, cover two. Why are they playing it again?"
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, go man, when you got these Rudy Poot wide receivers. And I'm sorry, I think it was Washington, because when they went man, dude, it was over.
Yeah.
So the Patriots do have a shot if they man up on these receivers and not allowing, Lawrence time to throw the football. But they got to put him in pass situations. Be that as it may, I'm going with the Jaguars.
Next up, Tennessee Titans at the Buffalo Bills. I'm going with the Bills.
Bills. They just got Amari Cooper, and if he plays, I think they're gonna welcome him to Buffalo with open arms, probably with 8 receptions, 90 yards, and maybe 2 TDs.
Yeah. Buffalo got
And that
Buffalo.
alone should beat Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Tennessee has more issues with the quarterback now. It's looking like Levis ain't the guy. I know it's his second year, but like he ain't.
And sometimes it'll take a change of scenery.
Yeah.
He may not be the guy in Tennessee, but he might wind up being the guy somewhere else.
And plus, that's not Bill Callahan's dude.
No.
So.
No. I mean, the kiss of death is when a coach comes into a new team and he's not fond of the quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Look, for the Bills getting Amari Cooper, I think that's a good move for them. They definitely needed a legit number one whiteout because the guys they had currently, they're fine, but when you're going up against the upper echelon teams, who's fearing Keon Coleman or Curtis Samuel or whoever else there, Shakur or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest, those dudes was 2s, fews, and 4s. So they were, and Keon Coleman may one day be a number one.
Yeah.
Maybe, but right now, no, man. Buffalo just didn't have that wide receiving core to be able to do that. A lot of people like to compare what Buffalo is doing to what KC is doing, but the receivers that KC brought in, they had a little bit more experience. Juju Smith-Schuster, they had experience. They not won number ones, but they had experience in reading defenses and getting open. And these guys that Buffalo had, they just don't have that. They just didn't have that experience.
And then plus with Kansas City, they got probably the best head coach, offensive-minded head coach in the league who can actually.
Correct. And then you got a defensive-minded head coach in Buffalo. So yeah, great point. But yeah, man, they desperately needed a number one wideout. They got one, so hopefully it works out for him. Plus, he's also in both of my fantasy leagues too, Amari Cooper, and I was really, really looking to trade him, but
no, you ain't gonna trade him because he ain't got Deshaun Watson throwing him the football no more.
Not today. No, sir. In fact, I turned down all of my trades for Amari Cooper. No, dog. I think I'm gonna go ahead and keep him one more week. So I'll leave this trade in the queue. I say, but if you're willing to throw in maybe another viable player, consider it.
Yeah. Next game. It's gonna be a highly anticipated matchup. The Houston Texans at the Green Bay Packers.
Ooh. I like Green Bay.
I'm going with Houston.
Yeah, I like Green Bay. You know, that's a homer pick for you. You only going with Green Bay just because you hate Green Bay.
Yeah, I know.
That's the only reason. There's no logic around it. I think the Bears almost beat them with a piss poor offense. With the way Jordan Love is playing, I think Green Bay should be able to get that.
We'll see. It's gonna be an exciting game to watch, though.
Yeah, it will be.
I just want Packers to lose.
Yeah, that's the only reason why you picking Houston. If it was the Saints, you would pick Green Bay to lose.
Probably not. No.
You would.
If it's this iteration of Saints, then no.
You really hate.
Yeah, I hate Green Bay. And
don't get me wrong, I do too, but I'm just trying to come out and think a little bit more logically. And I would love to see them lose too, especially when we're on a bye week.
Yeah. Next up, Eagles at the Giants.
I still like Philadelphia.
Yeah. They got all the
Although
weapons back. Although,
the Giants are playing better.
yeah.
I
They
don't
said
know if
neighbors might they think they said neighbors will be ready to go this week.
maybe I haven't heard him clearing the protocol, but Philadelphia is starting to get healthy. So as long as they're getting healthy, I think I'm gonna go with Philadelphia to go in New York and beat them.
Obviously the big thing with Philadelphia is I guess last week Nick Sirianni was I don't know talking crap to the fans after they beat the Browns by like 4 or 5 points or whatever, just barely. And then he comes out after the game and he's just kind of flaunting around, acting higher than holy then, and the next day he finally apologized. I'm like, this guy, I don't know.
Well, first of all, it is really difficult to answer questions directly after a game.
Yeah.
That's tough. That's tough because you're still so emotionally charged that anything could just fly out of your mouth. So coaches should be a little bit more wise because reporters will ask certain questions just to trip them up.
Yep.
And I think that's what happened to Sirianni. He lost it. He had some time to decompress and to think clearly, which is the reason why he apologized the next day. So um, it was still stupid on his part, though.
Yeah.
But at the same time, though, he was missing two offensive linemen, his two best wide receivers. I think Goddard wasn't 100% as well either. And with all of that, they still went into another building and won.
They were home last week.
Oh, my bad. But and Cleveland defensively is still a really good football team. They
They're just
just got
being, I think it's more to this situation. They're always on the field because the offense ain't doing nothing.
the offense ain't doing a thing. I mean, and let's be honest, Amari Cooper was really the only offensive threat that these guys had anyway.
Yeah.
So and I know Kevin Stefanski is frustrated. So, but
Yeah. Although I think also too,
yeah,
I even just now realized this is Saquon Barkley's first game at MetLife since leaving the Giants.
since leaving the Giants, he in my fantasy league too. So, would you put Saquon in your fantasy league this week?
If I had him,
Of course you would, especially this week.
I would if I had him, but
They gon'
my
they
two
gonna
running
give him
backs
the.
are Connor and frickin' Joe Mixon.
Oh,
They give me some good points on a weekly basis.
yeah, mine is Bijan Robinson, Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs, and I even got Jordan Mason.
Oh my How many running backs you got on your team?
I mean, running backs,
Yeah.
just those four.
So you use one of them as the flex?
I use one. No, one of them's on the bench. I just have to decide between Mason and Jacobs. Who do I want to play every week? And like last week, I was in a dichotomy. I played Mason. He wound up getting hurt, and Jordan and Jacobs had the better game.
Yeah.
So we'll see. So
Another really good watchable matchup in the early morning slate, the Detroit Lions at the Minnesota Vikings.
I'm so glad the Bears got a bye because this is the game I'm tuning into. I think I would have tuned into this game if the Bears were playing
Yeah.
because I really want to see this game. But I'm going with Detroit.
I'm gonna go with Minnesota.
I just don't think when Minnesota played
Are you talking about Green Bay or New York?
no, I'm talking about when Minnesota's last game that I want to say it was
They were
San
on a bye
Francisco.
week last week.
Not last week, their last game.
The Jets.
It was the Jets. Jets should have beat them.
Yeah.
Darnold was not impressive at all. In fact, he looked like the New York Jets version of Sam Darnold. And luckily the defense did what was necessary to get some stops.
Yeah.
I just don't think if Sam Darnold has a bad game this week, that the defense is going to be in a position to continue to bail him out. Now, the other dichotomy with that is Aiden Hutchins down.
Yeah.
He's probably going to go to IR too.
Oh no, they
So,
said they already confirmed he's done for the season.
oh, he's done for the season.
Yeah, they
Okay.
said he's done for the season.
Yeah.
He got like
So
a
now,
broken tibia. He got a broken tibia.
oh, he broke it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because you
oh,
get
wow.
when he got hurt, you literally saw his leg flailing around.
Yeah, I did see that. But I mean, that's a tough loss.
Yeah.
you know. So now Detroit is in a position whereas they got to get to the quarterback. So I'm pretty sure they're gonna probably try to devise a few ways. Aaron Glenn is gonna probably try to devise a few ways to, shorten that clock in the quarterback's head. But I still like Detroit because that offense, man, is rolling on all cylinders. And I just don't care how many times you blitz Jared Goff. They just got too many weapons. I like Detroit.
I'll go with Minnesota just because they have the home field advantage for this one matchup. Um, Obviously they're going to target Justin Jefferson because
Yeah.
he gets the better of the Detroit Lions, and we'll see how
Yeah.
that goes. But yeah,
And Addison is back. So
yeah,
Addison is back, and it will take that pressure off of Jefferson, especially if, Addison does happen to get open with a lot of those underneath routes. So, but
yeah,
again, we're still talking about Sam Darnold.
yeah. And
So,
the last two games, they've get up to these leads, and they never, I guess you could say, hit the dagger just to put it in the opposing team's way to just be like, you ain't coming back. We're gonna get
but
this
Detroit
touchdown.
is different.
Yeah,
Detroit is much different than the Jets and Green Bay. Detroit is much different. And I think they're going to pound that rock early and often, try not to get in passing situations where to alleviate the pressure of what Minnesota is going to do defensively. Um, Jamison Williams is playing amazing football. He looks fully healthy after all his injuries. So, I mean, and then on top of that, man, the way they whooped up on Dallas, I just Detroit for me is playing probably the best football in the league right now, and I think that's going to continue when they get to Minnesota.
yeah. We'll see what Brian Flores' plan is. I would envision his first thing is let's stop that run.
Stop the run. Stop the run. Put them in pass situations, 3rd and long, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, you know, that kind of stuff. And, you know, blitz the ever loving bejesus at Jared Goff. But again, you gotta be really good about it because Jared Goff's a smart quarterback. He can see a lot of things that, you know, your average quarterback can't see. Still
Uh,
like Minnesota. So you mean to tell me you are going to pick Minnesota to go undefeated, which does not help the Chicago Bears?
yeah, I'm picking them because they're on the home team.
But Houston is on the road, and you
Okay.
picking them to go into Green Bay and
Yeah,
win.
because I don't like Green Bay.
Oh, okay.
And maybe also some of it also has to do because I don't like Detroit either, because I think they're getting a little bit too cocky over there.
Okay. All right. Detroit's good though.
Yeah, I'm not gonna deny that.
Okay. All right. So this is just
Uh,
some more divisional haterade.
yeah, I guess you
Yeah.
can say that.
Okay. All right.
I
Okay.
had to pick
All right.
somebody. If I wanted to pick anybody, I want to pick none of the team.
Well, I'm gonna tune
Oh,
in
but
to
the game,
this.
I hope the game ends in a tie for crying out loud. That would be in the Bears' favor.
That would be pretty cool. But yeah, I'm gonna tune in to this one. This is the playoff. This is a playoff game for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next up, Seattle Seahawks versus the Falcons are in Atlanta. Seattle coming off that god awful loss to the Giants.
Seattle is diving, man. I mean, three games in a row they've lost. I mean,
It
they're
looked
not looking
promising to
good.
start the season off, and then they just kind
Yeah,
of
they're not looking good at all, man. Um, they
and then
haven't been
they
able
they
to.
had that loss against the Giants, I've kind of mentioned, and then they were on last week's Thursday night game where they were playing the 49ers. It looked like they were going to try to make a comeback to win the game, and then the 49ers basically ran the ball right up the sideline to ice the game.
Yeah. So Seattle just doesn't look good. Um, Atlanta is playing a heck of a lot better. I think they're what, 3 games in a row?
Mm-hmm.
They've won, they're 4-2. They're at home.
Yep.
So I expect it to continue. I do like what Kirk Cousins is doing in Atlanta. He's really getting to know his team. He's getting really know that receiving core. So they got a really good dual threat with Bijan Robinson and Algier. So I mean, Atlanta is looking really good. I think it's going to continue on Sunday. So they should beat Seattle.
Yeah. I'll go with Atlanta. They're the home team. We'll see
Yeah,
how they play. They did have a competitive first half against the Panthers for what it was worth, but I chalked that up to divisional game.
yeah,
So yeah.
I agree.
Next up. Oh yay. The Bengals at the Browns. The battle for Ohio.
The Cleveland can't score.
Bengals, it's obvious. Bengals.
And Joe Burrow is playing really good.
Yeah. It's just the defense sucks.
The defense sucks. But now they got this sucky defense against this piss poor offense. I think they're going to cancel each other out.
Hmm.
But Cleveland's defense, as good as it is, it can't keep Cincinnati from getting 21 points.
Yeah.
Cincinnati wins.
Yeah, obviously people in Cleveland, outside of them watching the Guardians, who had a miraculous comeback that just last night against the Yankees.
I just saw that too.
Yeah.
I
Um,
just saw that. And the first thing I said was, I bet you that was his only hit. Go look at the box score, and lo and behold, there it was. His only hit.
I
I'm like,
thought the
just
Yankees had won the game because I get the freaking ESPN alert saying like, "Oh, the Yankees stormed back to take the lead," and I'm like, "Oh, they must have won." So they're up 3-0. We're gonna get Dodgers Yankees in the World Series. No, but
I
then I
think we're
found
gonna
out
get
that they
Dodgers Yankees anyway. So now, I mean, I think we're gonna get it anyway. I'm not really worried one way or the other.
Yankees got to win
That's
tonight though. They got to win tonight. They lose
well,
to
they're up 3-1.
no, they're up 2-1.
Oh, you said the Yankees. I'm sorry, the Dodgers are up 3-1. Yeah, that series is over. Mets can't. I mean,
The pitching can't
games
keep
two
up.
and three. I'm like, games 2 and 3 alone should tell you who's gonna win that series. The Dodgers outscored them 17-0.
You know,
Like two shutouts.
3 and 4.
Two shutouts. Man, Dodgers looking good. As much as I hate to say it,
No, I
Dodgers
hate to say it
really
too,
good. Yeah,
because the player
Dodgers
that was
look
on my old team is now flourishing in LA.
no, well, you know.
Oh, I blame all that on the
You're
owner. I blame all that on the owner. He's the one that let him walk for nothing the week.
you know what? You hitched your saddle to a piss poor franchise just like I did.
Well,
So it's
when I
but
did
at
that,
least I did get a World Series out the deal.
I was too young to remember that World Series that they got in '02.
Who got a World Series?
The Angels.
In
Angels had a World
'02?
Series in '02 when they played the Giants, when Barry Bonds was still on the Giants.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Okay. Oh yeah.
I was too young to even embrace the good years during the 2000s. Ever since
Yeah,
2010, they've been garbage outside of
that's
2014.
that's true. Sorry about that.
Yeah,
But
I'm going with the Bengals.
yeah, I'm going with the Bengals. The Bengals will probably win this game by 2 touchdowns. You know, because I mean they can't score,
Yeah, and obviously fans
and
will be
now they
calling.
can't score now because now
They traded away
Cooper
their
is
best
gone.
weapon.
Cooper's gone.
And you have fans calling for Deshaun Watson to be benched, but the owner's probably making the call. We can't bench the guy we're
Well,
paying
no, he makes 200 and
million
what
dollars.
$50 million fully guaranteed.
Yeah,
He
that
gonna tell Stefanski, you better sit up here and make that dude a quarterback.
I legitimately think Stefanski's on the hot seat right now. I think he
I
could get
agree.
fired.
I agree.
And I don't blame. And honestly, if he gets fired, that's good. Good for him. He can get out of
That's
there.
good for him because I'm pretty sure he'll latch on with somebody as an offensive coordinator because he has a really great offensive mind.
I'd fire Eberflus for Stefanski immediately if he's on the market. But Caleb Williams, sign
Well,
me.
unfortunately, right now the way it is, that ain't happening.
Yeah.
And even if they do fire Eberflus, I mean, what sense would it make to have Shane Waldron and Kevin Stefanski bumping heads
Oh no, I'm getting rid of everybody. Shane Waldron gone too.
after that game and how Williams played? I don't know, man. Waldron, I don't know, man.
That's nice.
He
That's
on my
nice.
Waldron is on my good side right now, Jack.
He's on the good side right now. Wait till you get to the divisional games. That's what I care about.
That's fine. That's fine. We haven't had one yet. So, I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure the jury is still out. But, I mean, Waldron has got that offense rolling on all cylinders. And again, just like I said before, it starts with getting DeAndre Swift the football. You get that cat the football, you soften these defenses up, you soften that front seven up. And I know I'm getting off on something else, which is a video for another day, but Bears, I like the way they look. Waldron, you all right with me for this week?
Dolphins at the Colts. It was already confirmed today that Richardson will be playing.
Dolphins defense is a really good. I'm gonna go with Miami.
I'm gonna go with Miami because we don't know how Richardson's gonna play coming off his
Correct.
injury. He could be up,
Correct.
he could be down,
Correct.
he might
And
get
keep in
hurt
mind,
again.
he couldn't find anybody open any doggone way before the injury. It took Joe Flacco to come up in there and throw for a load of yards, probably just to get this guy some film enough so they can bring him back.
Yeah, yeah,
So no, man, I with Miami's defense and with the way Richardson's been throwing the football, I'm going with Miami. They
yeah.
might even get Miami defense might even get a pick six out of this game.
Good, good, good.
Yeah.
Miami offense just got to at least put 14, maybe 17 points on the board, and hopefully
Yep.
their
And they
defense.
got two wide receivers that are hurt. They'll probably play in Pittman and Downs. But, neither one of those guys, from what I read, is 100%, especially Pittman with his back. So,
Yeah.
we'll see.
Next
And then
up.
on top of that, they wasn't throwing the ball to him any damn way.
Yeah. Well, at least Downs for 1 week last week got me a touchdown, which helped my win.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, Pittman had two touchdowns in, consecutive games when Flacco was playing. But I wasn't really. And Pittman's in my league too.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But I still like Miami for this game. Their defense is so much better than what Indianapolis is going to roll out.
Yeah. Panthers at Commanders.
Commanders next.
That's it.
Yeah.
Raiders at the Rams will be more of a Raider.
I don't trust the Raiders.
We
I
don't do
don't.
that. We don't do that.
No, we don't do that. Especially. I mean, granted they did the right thing in trading Devontae Adams to the Jets. They did the right thing, but even then, they didn't get enough for this dude.
Their biggest headline, their biggest headline this week is the fact that now Tom Brady's a part owner of the Raiders.
Correct.
Now, why is he in the broadcast booth? He can't even do the production meetings now.
No.
So at that point, if I was Tom Brady, I'd stop being a broadcaster and give Greg Olson back the main color commentator spot next to Kevin Burkhardt.
Oh, you're making too much money, man. He ain't turning that cash down.
Yeah.
But, for this week and again, no, man, I'm going with the Rams.
Yeah. The Rams will probably finally get their second win. I don't know if Cooper Kupp's coming back, but I think I hear rumblings that he might be coming back this week, but I don't know.
Regardless, I just don't think right now. Now, granted, the best offensive weapon on the field for both teams is going to be Brock Bowers, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I think the Rams defense can do just enough to keep him, contained.
Another big matchup, a Super Bowl rematch from last year, the Kansas City Chiefs at the 49ers.
Kansas City has really been skating by.
Mm-hmm.
from week to week to week, and people really just like to kiss their bottom. They really do. I mean, these guys have skated every week. Close win, close win, close win. And I think San Francisco is just now starting to hit their stride. I'm going with the Niners to at least, you know, satisfy that Super Bowl hangover.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
They at home too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going
Um,
with the Niners.
I'll go with the 49ers this week, but I would not be shocked if the Kansas City Chiefs find a way to win.
I agree. I also wouldn't be shocked if you see some type of really questionable call in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, by good old Kyle Shanahan. I was watching the
Mm,
facility this morning. They were talking about Kyle Shanahan being 0-4 against Andy Reid.
mm, that's interesting.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
because he would have
I
played
was
him
talking
two
about
times. He would have played him two times in the Super Bowl, and then I guess the other two matchups are the regular season.
correct. And Shanahan is a really great coach. I do like him as a coach, but it just seems that when these coaches come up against a peer that is above them, they want to try to do the extra that they can to show that they belong in the same space.
Yeah.
And they wind up overdoing it. So I'm but for this week, I cannot see the 49ers going 3-4.
We'll be back. We'll talk the last three remaining games, and then that will be it for this week's predictions. But till then, guys, we'll be back real quick.
Okay.
All right. We're back and getting into the last three NFL games. So the Sunday night game this week will be the New York Jets going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. So obviously, there's two big headlines coming out of this game. One of the big headlines is that Devontae Adams is reunited with his old teammate Aaron Rodgers is now on the Jet, and he's now on the Jets now. And then
Yeah.
the other big news is the fact that it seems more than likely that Justin Fields will not be starting. It will be Russell Wilson starting for the first time this season in the Pittsburgh Steelers uniform.
So that's confirmed.
That's it's basically set in stone that he's gonna
Okay.
the way
All right.
they've been talking about it in press conferences. It's basically Russell Wilson's gonna be the starter.
Yeah, I mean, I granted the Steelers are 4-2,
Yeah,
but I mean they've done it all just by with everyone's legs as far as running the football. Justin is having the same issues he had in Chicago. I mean, just reading defenses and making the right throws. He's doing a lot of check downs instead of trying to pump the ball down the field. And they got a really great wideout over there, and he's just not clicking with them. So if they do happen to bring in Wilson, who's more of a pure passer, then I guess they're hoping that'll probably spring some life into their offense and get Pickens the football.
yeah,
But the other thing for me is I think Pittsburgh is going to win this game regardless of what the Jets have done with Devontae Adams and that BS about the whole Mike Williams not going the red line and all. Dude, that was just excuses just to say you made a messed up pass.
yeah.
He
I
threw the
honestly think they
ball.
might just cut him because Aaron Rodgers seemed like he don't vibe with Mike Williams no more.
Well, I mean, he underthrew the football and he threw it off his back foot instead of throwing off his front foot. And yeah, Mike Williams had no choice but to make a play on the football because it was short.
Yeah,
And then he gets in the presser and basically blames Williams.
that's that old classic Aaron Rodgers.
Yep. So, yeah, they'll probably wind up releasing Williams or,
Trading
pump
him.
him so far down the roster that no one actually sees him or anything like that. But a wide out will not, you know, ail the woes of the New York Jets.
Yeah, it just felt like a desperation move to try to please Aaron Rodgers and try to
Yeah,
find a way to turn this thing around.
yeah. He still can't run. He still has issues moving within the pocket. I mean, the dude is 40 something years old coming off an Achilles injury.
Yeah.
So, I mean, mobility is not his strength. So, the thing is going to do to put pressure on him to make him make some bad throws. And I'm sorry, that throw was on him. I would have had a little bit more respect if he got in that post game presser and said all of that stuff about the red line and Mike Williams is, and just simply say, you know what, with all of that, I just made a bad throw,
Yeah.
which it was. He underthrew Williams.
Yeah.
Now, that red line throw was supposed to be more to the sideline, for, Williams to go in stride, but he underthrew it and blamed Williams.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh should win this game because that defense is, second best in the league, and I
Yeah.
think it'll do. I think it'll do just enough just to make sure that you know Rodgers is uncomfortable in the pocket.
Yeah. I didn't watch much of that Monday Night Football game, but I do know it looked similar to the past few games that they played, even though they got a new head coach and everything. And
Yeah.
realistically, the game probably would have not been close if not the Jets completing that Hail Mary at the end of the first half.
Well, I mean, the Jets should have won the game. Let's keep in mind
Yeah,
now, Greg the Leg did miss 2 field
that
goals.
is true.
That game would not have gone into overtime if he had hit those 2 field goals. That said, it did go into overtime.
It didn't go in overtime.
Rodgers did make that bad throw.
That game didn't go to overtime.
I'm sorry, my bad. That game, Rodgers did make that bad throw,
Mm-hmm.
and they were still in position to win the game.
Yeah.
So, but in true Aaron Rodgers fashion, he blamed everybody but himself.
Yep. And then the last few games of the week, we got 2 Monday night games again. Is this the new trend now? We're just getting 2 Monday night games every other week.
Well, for someone who lives overseas, yeah, I don't like. No, man, not two. No,
I
not
don't
two.
like two,
But
and
I
I live out
do.
here on the West Coast. I
Well,
think that's too much.
I do wake up to a game. That's pretty cool. I'll wake up, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and a game is on, and I have just enough time to actually try to enjoy it before, heading off to work. So that part I do enjoy, But I got it, man. I don't know, man. It's probably good for the folks on the West Coast.
I don't really like it because then it's like I'm trying to watch 2 games at one, but it's like I'd rather watch one game for the night and get out the way.
Oh,
Especially
both
the
games
fact
are being played simultaneously?
an hour apart.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
So, like for example, now I'm going off West Coast time. So the first Monday night game is Ravens at Buccaneers. That start time is 5:15. The second Monday night game is Chargers at Cardinals. That starts at 6 p.m.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. You have a portion of the country that's just got to phase through 2 games.
Yeah. And clearly the second game is just strictly for the West Coast fans because if I'm on the East Coast, I'm not watching Chargers versus Cardinals because by the time that game starts, it's 9 p.m.
Yeah. And it's Chargers versus Cardinals. It's not two of the better teams in the league. However, that first one's going to be a barn burner.
Yeah, it's in Tampa Bay.
I I do like Tampa Bay.
I'll say
Now,
this.
granted,
Oh,
Tampa Bay winning 2 games in a row.
yeah.
Tampa Bay winning 2 games in a row is, you know what I say about Tampa Bay, man. They'll give you one good game one week, and then they'll just totally throw up a goose egg the next week. And this would be that goose egg week. So, but given all of that, plus they play in Baltimore, and Baltimore is on the roll. I mean, I.
I'm gonna go with
Tampa Bay.
Baltimore.
Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay. I'm gonna go with Tampa.
Okay. I will say if Tampa Bay wants to win the game, they can't have Baker Mayfield turning the ball over like he did in that first half against the Saints. Because that's what got the Saints back in
No,
that game to begin with.
no, no. You're absolutely right. Now, granted, luckily for Baltimore, I mean for Tampa
Tampa
Bay,
Bay.
Baltimore's pass defense is not really good. So I mean, Tampa can win this game based on Baltimore's pass defense, which is bottom of the barrel in the NFL. Granted, the run offense of Baltimore, you
That's
know,
yeah. Now we're seeing how dangerous that thing can get because when Derrick
that thing
Henry
is
running the ball, oh my
that
God.
thing is elite. Thing is elite. I mean, which they do happen to keep that defense off the field. So, but same thing as always. They got to stop the run, and Baker cannot make any mistakes. But I think that it'll be close enough for Tampa Bay to actually win the game.
Yeah. Looking. Anton Winfield Jr. is questionable. Jamel Dean is questionable. Two of the receivers are questionable for the Buccaneers. So we'll see. We'll see.
Which two receivers are questionable?
It is Cameron Johnson and Trey Palmer.
Okay. Well, as long as it's not Godwin and Evans.
Galvin was
You
good
know,
last week. Galvin was really good last week.
yeah. And like I said, Tampa Bay has been good. Again, it's that whole dichotomy of this week I'm gonna play really great, and then this week I'm gonna play like I'm in high school.
Yeah. And then obviously the last Monday night game will be Chargers at the Cardinals. Um, I'm gonna go with the Chargers winning by 3. I think the Cardinals clearly play much better at home in the last few games. They've just put up stinkers, really, against the Commanders and then against obviously Green Bay. That Green Bay game was over before it even started.
Yeah, but keep in mind now they're on the road with this one, and
But heck, they didn't
Arizona.
even they got blown out at home against the Commanders.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
go with the Chargers by 3. The number one headline coming out of the Chargers side of things is the fact that not John, Jim Harbaugh,
yeah,
he had kind of like a little bit of, I guess they're saying like a heart murmur thing, which is probably something to look out for. I would envision he's okay now, but you would think that they probably must have took him to the doctors after the game against Denver to make sure he's all good and everything, because that's some serious stuff right there. And you don't
yeah.
want a coach potentially having a heart attack on the sideline. So who
True.
knows? Maybe at some point in the season, maybe there's like, hey man, take it easy, go home. We'll hold down the fort till you're able to come back and you're good to coach again.
Correct. I like the Chargers in this game as well too. Um, I'm almost to the point whereas, and I always talk about trust
Yeah.
with teams. I talk about it with Tampa Bay. I definitely talk about it with the Raiders, and I'm close to talking about it
With the Cardinals.
close with the Cardinals. Yeah, because I really liked them the beginning of the year, but as games start being played, they just started doing some really stupid stuff.
Yeah. And then
So,
Marvin Harrison Jr., he got hurt last week and he's questionable.
right.
So he might not be
Right.
able to play this week either.
And I think he missed the rest of the game when he did last week too. So, um, but no, I don't. I mean, it's a tough one.
I'm gonna go Chargers by 3.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the Chargers as well too. I mean, I think in that division they can. They're in a position whereas they can, still do some damage in that division. Where I think eventually the Cardinals are going to taper off.
Jesus, if good dang, Cardinal ticket's only $31 for an NFL game. That's crazy. 30 tickets as low as $31.
Yeah,
Absolutely insane. If I lived in Arizona, that would be a nice game to go watch.
it depends on who you're playing though.
Yeah.
I mean, I would now, as much as we talk football, I
Hey,
would pay.
Buccaneers Ravens tickets low as 64. That's actually
Wow,
good prices. Just to go watch that game.
wow, in Florida,
Yeah.
wow, that's cheap.
Heck, 104 for Jets at Steelers. That
Well,
ain't
where we were
uh-huh.
in London was 180, and we were pretty close on the action.
Yeah.
So I didn't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Flights were cheap. Hotel was a good price. I mean, it was a
Ha, Cleveland Browns tickets as low as $37.
at least they're not lower than at least they're not lower than 31. You feel me? I'm wondering who is the cheapest ticket in the NFL?
It gotta be the Panthers. It's gotta be the Panthers. Who would want to even go to a Panthers game? That's like
I
it's like
gotta
okay,
admit,
what team they playing? Are they playing? They
you are
playing the Chiefs? All right, we'll go to that game because the tickets will be cheap.
yeah, you are right.
I'm looking.
Yeah, I was about to say Google it real quick.
Bills 134,
Yeah, now that don't shock me.
Packers 169,
That don't shock me.
Giants 127,
That does not shock me.
Vikings 157.
No, that don't shock me. Is this average ticket prices or the
This is
cheapest?
just for these games this week.
Ah, gotcha. Okay. All right.
That's Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta 72.
That does not shock me. I actually got when the what was it, 2018, I believe it was.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say it was 2018. No, it wasn't. It was before we came overseas. Sammy Sosa was still with the Cubs,
Mm-hmm.
and the Cubs were in the playoffs. Dude, box seats in Atlanta, $22. Box seats,
I would love that nowadays. It's
22.
hard to
Yeah,
find.
I got to admit, we were really contemplating, and keep in mind, we lived in Alabama, driving to Atlanta just to watch the Cubs. And I should have did it because the Cubs won that game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is at Old Turner Field, right?
yeah. What was it? Yeah, Turner Field. $22 for a
Georgia State
playoff
plays in
game.
that stadium.
Yeah.
Indianapolis 86.
So far, you hadn't found anything cheaper than 31.
Washington 62.
Uh-huh.
SoFi 139.
Yeah, but you paying for the stadium. You ain't paying for the teams.
143 in San Francisco. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So nothing about Carolina.
No.
Well, we don't play, so we can't really.
Is
You know,
Carolina home next week? No, they're not. Down the road next week.
next week. All
Yeah.
right. Well, maybe a video for another game. I mean, a
Yeah.
subject for another video.
Yeah. Before we get out here, some college football shout outs this week.
Mm,
Oregon's playing Duke, or not Duke, Purdue this week, or tonight.
Oregon should take care of business.
Yeah.
Number two
What
team in
did you think of that game, Ohio State versus Oregon last week? I thought it was fun to watch.
I thought it was fun to watch too. I mean, Ohio State made some crucial errors,
Yeah.
which eventually cost them the game. But hey, man, that's how it goes. However, I would have loved to be an Ohio State fan compared to what we as Alabama fans have been getting the last couple of weeks.
Tonight, BYU number 13 plays Oklahoma State. BYU 6-0. They doing good in the Big 10.
Yeah,
I mean, Big
that's
12.
true. Now the big talk here in Germany is Army Navy. That
Oh yeah,
the belief is that one of those teams will be undefeated to end the season,
and they get a playoff spot.
and they get a playoff spot. Now you have one side, my side is rooting for the Army, and then you just you have that contingent of folks that Marines and Navy that are here as well too, obviously rooting for their squad. But I think it'd be really cool if Army close the season out undefeated, because that's really the only way they're gonna make the playoffs anyway. But
It's impressive what they're doing.
yeah, it
Hopefully.
is. It is.
It's making the Army Navy game gonna be so much more exciting to watch if they're both going undefeated into
If they
that.
both go in there undefeated, that game is going to be huge, huge.
And the best part is that's gonna be the one game of the year where it's only them.
Yeah, yeah. So, and like I say, here you got that large contingent that's like, you guys, please don't lose, and y'all come into that game undefeated, because man,
They,
they're
they
already
they're blowing teams out. Teams
yeah,
that I
they
would
are,
that would usually probably beat them,
yep,
they blowing them out of the water.
smoking them. And on top of that, they're talking about making that day a doggone military holiday, just so folks can watch that game. So where they're just, man, you just have so many people that are just like hoping, dreaming, praying, man, Navy go undefeated in that game.
The crazy
You know,
part of this,
Army,
they're still running a little bit of their triple option, but like both teams are
yeah,
like running spread offenses now.
correct. But the whole premise still of their offense is the ground game.
Yeah,
Yeah. So but I would love to see one of them. Well, I'm sorry. As a former soldier, I would love to see Army in the playoffs. I mean, they'll probably wind up playing somebody, the likes of Texas and Oregon,
yeah,
but we'll see.
yeah.
But they are a little bit better, and I think they can hang for a while with one of those teams. Texas is really good though, but we'll see. They got one big one against Georgia, and
Yeah,
we'll see how that goes.
Miami playing on the road to Louisville. They had some scares the last few weeks.
Yeah, Louisville's not that good. I mean, they're good,
Yeah,
but I think Miami can go in there and beat them.
yep.
Yeah.
Nebraska with cosplay Mahomes playing Indiana. Indiana's pretty good,
Indiana,
underrated.
Indiana is pretty good, but does anyone really care about Nebraska, Indiana?
No,
No.
it'd still be a fun matchup. It's Big Ten football. It'd still be a fun matchup to watch.
Oh, okay. So y'all actually consider Nebraska Big Ten now.
Listen, but UCLA Big Ten, you like USC, and they both suck.
Yeah.
uh,
Although USC is a little this year.
huh?
USC is not bad this year.
They're 3-3. They suck.
Yeah, they're not bad.
Auburn playing Missouri. Missouri.
Now Missouri sucks.
Yeah, they got blown up by Texas A&M.
Yeah, talking all of that, just
Army playing East Carolina this week.
that ought to be a good one. East Carolina's still not a really bad football team. They're always competitive. Still like Army, but I don't think it's going to be the blowout that the spread says it'll probably be. I think the spread is what, like 13
Mm-hmm.
for Army. So
It's
I think
actually
it's going to,
16 point minus 16.5 for Army.
yeah, see, I don't think it's going to be that big of a spread. I think Army still should win the game. Um, but East Carolina don't sneeze on them.
South Carolina at Oklahoma.
Ooh, and both of them lost tough games too. I mean, Texas just blew them out, but it was a revenge game for Texas.
Yeah.
Because Oklahoma beat them last year, and South Carolina almost beat Alabama.
Yeah.
So, who's at home?
Oklahoma. That's a morning game too.
Honestly, I've seen both of them play. I really just don't like Oklahoma the way they look. I think South Carolina can beat them.
I like that that Sellers dude. He good.
Yeah, yeah. South Carolina is actually not a bad football team, you know, but I think Oklahoma's having a down year. I think South Carolina is going to get them.
Yeah. Your Crimson Tide versus at Tennessee.
Oh, and I'm wearing orange. Lord have mercy. Um,
At least Tennessee quarterback has been not too good, so that's something.
yeah, yeah. Whoever loses the game is out the playoffs. I'll say it like that.
Yeah, because you're
So
7 and then Tennessee 11.
it's a must win for both teams to stay in the playoff. There's not very much we'll be able to do to get back in, short of some other teams losing. So we got to take care of our own business. Outwork yesterday, as we like to say, and I think they can go up in there and actually get a W. but they got to be serious, man. Coach DeBoer has got to bring the best out in these guys.
Yeah. My dad's team, Notre Dame, taking on Georgia Tech.
Notre
Actually,
Dame still got a team.
yeah, I think their issue is quarterback, but that's just me from what I watch.
That's been an issue with the. That's been an issue with them ever since what Joe Montana left.
Michigan at
Oh
Illinois. Illinois has been really shockingly
no,
good.
Illinois is gonna beat them.
Of course they are, because Michigan ain't got no quarterback.
Yeah, Michigan's got no quarterback. I honestly, going back to Notre Dame, I think Notre Dame is gonna get got too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now
Uh,
that's a homer pick.
uh-huh.
Pick Notre pick Notre Dame to lose.
You think if Illinois beat Michigan, they're going to storm the field?
Why would they?
It's still a big school. It's still a big time
They're
program.
they're a better team than Michigan.
Yeah, but these fans be storming the field if they beat somebody.
Oh man, come on. Can we stop it with the whole I can see if like a team is number one in the country and another team is 2-8 and only wins a very low percentage and they win the football game, then yeah, storm the field. But I mean, come on, man. There's no reason to storm the field by beating Michigan, who sucks this year.
Hey, Illinois is good now. They're good. So, you think Colorado bounces back against Arizona?
Yes, that was a tough loss. That was a tough loss, and a lot of people really didn't think that Colorado was going to be competitive this football year. So I mean, they're a lot better than what people actually thought. So but I think they do bounce back.
Yeah. Is Hunter gonna play that game? Because I know he got hurt in the last game they played in against Kansas
And
State.
he really didn't play well against Kansas State.
I didn't watch the game. I
So
was like doing something else at the time.
yeah, I don't think he played well against Kansas State, but at the same time, they were still in a position to win.
Hmm.
So I had not heard Hughes about him playing or not playing, but so I'm going with the premise that he is going to play, and if he plays, they should be good enough to beat Arizona.
Yeah. Another good game on TV. LSU number 8 at Arkansas.
So man, Arkansas can score, but are they in Death Valley?
No, they in Arkansas.
I'm going with Arkansas.
I was the big time.
Arkansas can score.
Hmm.
You know, defense is pretty average, but they can definitely score the football. I like Arkansas.
Meyer's good for LSU though. He's a good quarterback.
Yeah, yeah.
Big time matchup: Georgia versus Texas at Texas.
I'm not gonna lie. I would really love to see Texas beat Georgia. It won't push them out of the playoffs because
Yeah.
their losses will be to a sixth ranked Alabama and now a number one ranked Texas team. But I would really love to see. And then on top of it, you got two coaches who are, Saban disciples.
Hmm.
So, and I really do like Steve Sarkisian. I
Yeah.
do. I don't like the Texas fans, but I like Steve Sarkisian. So I'm gonna pick Texas
Hmm.
to win this game, primarily because I think they just got the better quarterback.
Yeah. That's basically it of any other big matchups I see on the list. I guess you got Kentucky,
In
Florida.
college football,
Yeah.
no, Kentucky fell on hard times last week, so they should be able to, dust themselves off and really put a nice little whooping on Florida. Doesn't matter where they playing, but after almost beating Georgia and then beating Ole Miss, to sit up here and fall short last week. Yeah, I think Kentucky is just going to bounce back and really probably beat the brakes off Florida this week.
Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah.
basically an NFL prediction. I guess a little bit of college football stuff too, but
Yeah.
we're gonna get out of here. I'm gonna have this man
So
go to sleep.
you, you think the Bulls are going to be 20-62?
What?
I do.
20 and 62.
Bulls
You
20
think
and
they're gonna be
62.
that bad? I think
I
they can
think
win at least a
honestly
good.
what I think
They can win maybe 30 games. I'll be generous and give you 30,
they
winning
can't
30.
stop and they can't stop anybody. They can't stop anybody.
Mhm.
They can shoot the basketball. I'll give them that, but they can't stop anybody. And I think Levine is going to get traded anyway.
You know, you want Clipper fans want Levine traded to the Clippers.
Trade him to the Clippers. Let's see if we can get a first round draft pick this year.
We ain't
Because
got
we
no picks.
definitely,
We ain't got no pick till 2030.
well, and the Bulls don't have a first rounder this year. So looks like the Clippers may be out of the Zach Levine sweepstakes. Because I think the Bulls are going to want that Cooper Flag cat. They want to have an opportunity to come grab him.
Yeah,
So find a team that'll probably be willing to give you its first round pick for Levine.
I will see. Anyways,
Yeah.
that's it. We're gonna get out of here.
Yeah.
Catch you guys in the next video. Till then, guys, stay safe out there and have a great rest of your day. Be on the lookout. I still got to record it, but I'm actually going to do an Intuit Dome review about my time going into Intuit Dome and how I enjoyed it. Some of the positives, some of the negatives. Have some pictures posted in there and things like that, some videos. I just want people to know like how good it is of a stadium it is. I come out of there thinking it's top 5 stadium. You just won't let me.
Oh, I don't even know how to retort. I just you were just so enthralled with the stadium and
That's the only thing I care about. I've gone on
and the
record.
team sucks.
I've gone on record. I've made tweets talking about it. I just did the video about Kawhi Leonard being out indefinitely, and in that video, I legitimately say the only thing I care about the Clippers this year is the stadium. The team
I
is
saw the
nothing to
I
me.
saw the tweet. I saw the tweet. I think I might even hearted the tweet or liked the tweet, but into it. Oh my God, man. Golly gee. This is what we're coming to now. We're not even gonna talk about teams, we're gonna talk about
We're talking about the
stadiums
stadium. That's what
and
they.
how
The
and,
Clippers wanted
and,
me to focus on the stadium. I'm gonna focus on the dang stadium, all right. Then I
and
won't give a crap
how the
about the team.
stadium and how the stadium makes me feel. And I don't care if the team loses.
I don't care what the team does. I want Cole. They did the first once they got rid of Paul George, that was a start. Now they got to get rid of Mr. Hobbled knees over there. Either tell him to retire or they need to go tell him go away. The
They should
moment
have
they
never
let them go, the moment that he's gone, I'll actually invest and care about the team and
they
see
should
what
have never
direction they
signed
go.
him anyway. I said that when they did it, it was a big mistake.
Oh yeah. I didn't want them to re-sign him. I wanted last year to be the last year, but they
No,
re-signed.
I'm talking about when they originally got him. When they
No.
originally got him, and he was in a car talking about he's the king of LA or some crap like that. I was just like, man, this dude is full of garbage.
Well, you talked to me back then. I loved it. Now I hate
Dog,
it.
man, I can't, no, man. So anyway, so
Yeah.
yeah, talk to the folks and ask them to give you a like and subscribe to the channel because just just stop, just stop it. We go now.
Together.
So is this what we gonna start doing now? We're gonna be going across stadiums and giving our reviews
Well,
on
I was just saying
stadiums
that for the
now.
Clipper fans who check out my videos on the channel and they want to see what it is if they haven't had access to go into it. I went into it the first night that they opened up for the basketball team. It
Oh,
was a lot
okay.
cheaper than going to actual opening night for a regular season game.
So the tickets are affordable.
Well, when it's based on the team, from what I see, it's based on what team they play. Like they're
Oh,
playing they're playing in Phoenix. Those tickets dang near 150 just to sit up in the upper
well,
deck.
Kevin Durant's coming in, so I get that.
And then y'all got to pay $70 for parking just in their West garage. Sorry. They can miss me with that. That's one of my
Uh,
negatives.
well, let me know what the tickets are when the Bulls come in town.
I think when me and my dad looked at it, they were like a good price. I think they were like 40, $30.
Really, for the Chicago Bulls, yeah, because y'all expect the Bulls to come in 20-62.
Yeah. Then
They're
me and
just
dad
gonna,
said we're gonna go to that game.
yeah, they're gonna suck. The Bulls, man, the Bulls are gonna be horrible. It's like you had people clamoring over the fact they beat Minnesota in preseason. I'm like, okay, all right, what was the score? 125, 123. Did it go into overtime? No. Like, come on, man. Just just they have no identity whatsoever. None.
At least Lonzo's back.
I am happy about that though. I am happy about that. And he looked really good. And I do like the dichotomy between him and Josh Giddey and what they bring to a team, but defensively, man, they're horrible.
All right, we're getting out of here. We talked enough. Till then,
Now
guys.
we get out. Yeah.
Now. See you later.
Yeah.
Hit the subscribe button. Blah, 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 blah. You know what to do. Anyways, till then,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah. Peace.